anybody's game. We could be seeing anything as weird as I don't know, a Kensa Junior, which by the way is a weapon I really like and I really wish people would
Hmm.
use more because it's really annoying and really wacky. But
I love the Kensa Junior. It's actually something that I tend to play often. I don't play professionally obviously, but it's one of my favorite things to play because it's a lot of fun and I would love to see that today.
oh, I would love to see that too. And on this map, it can be particularly annoying, just shoving those bubbles wherever you can least expect them and single-handedly capping zones and harassing top mid. So that could be something interesting. Vanilla Junior too, that could be something fun. I think the weapon's been picking up a lot of popularity in Japan, and I'm completely biased because I love the Junior. If that wasn't clear enough, that weapon is so silly, but I really, really like both playing and seeing it be played, which is just a silly hold ZR and then click R a lot of the times, but it's really fun. But yeah, I really don't know what to expect. And as we see the teams locking in here, we're just gonna be, you know, embracing the surprise. Let's see what happens.
Yes, indeed. Let's see what we're gonna have here. I can't wait. I'm very excited. Going into this Splat Zones on Black Belly Skate Park, we have Momentum versus Azure for our first game. Oh, a Soda Slasher! Yay!
Oh yes, we see two blasters, a splash-o-matic, a flings a roller. So there are some weird things going on, and
Ooh,
I like
ink
to see the weird things.
brush.
I
I
am
called
very
it.
curious. You call the ink brush, and I call the blaster, so we were both right under that regard. No junior would
Mhm.
make me sad, but I mean, these comps are wacky enough for me to be happy, and let's see how this plays out. I'm very curious to see what that flings roller can do. We see him getting a very nice kill here, but what do you think about the flings? It's definitely a weapon we haven't seen much at all, ever actually in competitive.
I have a love-hate relationship with the flings that I hate playing against it and I love watching people play it. It is to me one of the most not purposefully but troll-ish weapon within the game because it really has the range that you don't quite expect. It's going to paint decently well, not really as well as some of the other rollers might, but it's so strong when you get caught within those sights of that flings a roller. And I think Bread has shown so far that he really does have a commanding presence with it. So I'm very excited to see what else he's going to be able to do today with that roller.
Definitely, and although we do see here currently the zone being in control of, I think it's of Team Momentum, but going down, 3 down, and that Stingray coming out. This really is looking like Azure is going to be holding this, and is going to be holding this for quite a while. With all four players up, they're currently not that close to specials, but the positions they're kind of holding, although they're playing a little bit defensively, it seems like they're ready for anything coming out from Momentum. As we see the baller here being popped, unfortunately not able to get too much. And Pika going for that punish on the jetpack. Let's see if he gets it. He does get it. Very
Ooh,
nice kill.
beautiful.
And the, oh, I was going to say double kill, but very nice kill here by Radiance, being able to get that pick. And oh my god, what just happened there, Bread?
The Flingza rolla happened. This is exactly what I'm talking about. The Flingza is just one of those things you don't see it coming, but until it's right on top of you or until you're splatted and you're back at respawn. Jacob doing a great job though, gets a nice pick with that blaster. Unfortunately, does go down to the Stingray by Shy. Fantastic positioning from Shy over here behind that wall where nobody can quite get them. And working to get back up in a more of a commanding position from above. Beautiful snipe coming out on Electro as well. Sometimes it's hard to call out those ink brush because they move so quickly, and Shy doing a fantastic job proving this is the perfect weapon for them to be playing.
Especially at such an annoying angle to deal with. That angle is just so annoying to deal with as a Charger player, but yet Shy getting such a beautiful shot. And we see the missiles, the bomb, everything coming out from Azure right now. And although we do see Pika go down, the amount of pressure they're getting so far is really nice. But those ballers, that initiation power from the ink brush, couldn't be enough to get both zones. And as we see, wow, beautiful coordination coming in from Momentum, getting their momentum going right now, getting those zones, those mines, and Electro struggling a bit to climb up those walls, but that's fine. I struggle myself getting up those walls, but it seems like the zone is back to a neutral situation, however, and Momentum still has quite a bit of time to go before they get the lead.
Certainly does seem like it. holding on to this zone is going to be really helpful for them. But as you're right, they do have a lot of time that they need to hold on to it. And right now, the zone returning to neutral with only 2 players up from momentum. They're going to have to paint really, really fast to be able to hold on to that. I don't quite think that they're going to have it. No, it goes back to Azure, so it's going to be a little bit more of a trial for momentum to be able to take this back once again.
Would you look at that sneaky movement by Jakob, able to dodge a charger shot, get a pick, and the timer just keeps on going. Does go down, unfortunately. Very good shot by Shy, but it seems like Shy is going to be forced here to use that Stingray sooner or later because the timer keeps on ticking down for momentum. And here comes the Stingray. Let's see if it's going to be the initiation that Azure needed because the timer just keeps ticking down. They might be in time, and no, it looks like the lead is going to momentum.
It certainly does. Momentum have a fantastic, fantastic job taking that lead. Not like a huge difference in terms of numbers, but 4 down on the side of Azure right now is not going to help them in terms of taking this zone back. Momentum picks it back up, and they're able to continue to pick off this point. I think Momentum's feeling really good, Hero. I'm not really sure what they're going to be able to do in order to allow Azure to come back in here.
I mean, the momentum really is swinging in their favor, and with the Radiants having that suction bomb rush ready, that is just going to stop any single attempt that Azure is going to try to throw at the zone, even getting a pick on Pika, who was the only thing stopping him with that bomb rush there. And very, very nice play by overall the entirety of Momentum, getting this very nice Game 1 win. Extremely solid, I would say, after a very back and forth beginning.
I agree with you there. Really fantastic job. And this is where, when I was watching Momentum play yesterday, I was really excited to see them play as a team stronger. And I think that they've been practicing a lot, and it's proving, it's showing off. Like I mentioned, you know, the ink brush, I can't wait to see Electro play that more. I think that it was a huge team effort, you know, not just one player that was able to kind of hold on to everything, but just really fun to be able to watch a weapon like that.
I definitely agree. I mean, the composition that Momentum was actually using was a composition which had a lot of weapons that rely on a good synergy between the entirety of the team, right? We saw the Splash-O-Matic as being a perfect glue weapon that helps so much by painting, get that chip damage, get those burst bombs going, get all that pressure, and the suction bombers, everything working as a glue for the team, holding together the Blaster, who really, really appreciated all that chip and paint coming in from the weapon, but also the ink brush, who again had enough paint to be able to move freely and annoy anybody and come back to help whenever he wanted. So very well thought out comp, worked out exactly how Momentum was planning, and now it's going to be interesting to see what exactly is going to be Azure's response to all of this.
I wonder what they're going to pick for their counter pick, because now that they know kind of what Momentum does have an opportunity to kind of change up their thoughts. Maybe they'll go for, I don't know, maybe they're going to pick up on a tower control
Yeah, I
game.
agree. I was gonna say tower control really because when you see an ink brush, you immediately think, okay, what can we do to beat the ink brush? Oh, well, we just play tower control. But it seems like
Ooh.
Azure might not think the same way we're thinking. It seems like we're gonna be heading into Splat Zone's Manta, which is definitely a weird pick, considering what we saw come out of Momentum. I mean, sure, they're abusing the fact that they had a short range composition, but it probably was a short range comp specifically thought for Black Belly. They're probably going to change comps for Manta. What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, Manta, although it's a much smaller map in comparison to Black Belly, the zone placement is kind of similar. There's still these dual zones, although a bit bigger. There is a tower in the middle that's going to separate them enough that you might not see who is on that other side of the zone and prepared for you to kind of come around. So I think, in my opinion, this might not have been their strongest counter pick. Maybe I would have gone with the Muscle Forge zones pick if you wanted to stick with splat zones. Um, I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about it. What are you thinking, Hero?
I agree. I mean, if they really wanted to go for zones, I don't know. I think they probably should not have gone for zones. If the other zone map was Muscle Forge,
Hmm.
Momentum's comp is definitely a comp that would have fared extremely well on Muscle Forge, having the Blaster, the Splash-O-Matic, and the Brush all being good weapons for that map. But Again, I don't think this is a good call on the side of Azure, and let's see if they're going to prove us wrong or whether obviously we were correct with our prediction. So I think the comps are going to be telling a lot of the story here. As okay, we see momentum switching, as I was expecting to a competition that is better suited for this map. And comp-wise, I think that Azure does not have the advantage here with their weapon picks.
Excuse me, I agree with you here. I think that it's going to be a little tough for them to kind of come back. But we say that, and then they are able to get 2 picks off of momentum and 3 with Electra being the only one up. Effectively, that's a team wipe for them. So this is the opportunity Azure has been looking for, and this is what they need right now to sort of hold on to this zone as long as they possibly can. If they can get a huge commanding lead, they might feel really good. As we saw with that last game, momentum is able to turn the tides pretty effectively. So Azure needs to do everything they can to hold on to this.
This was a beautifully executed take back from momentum. That Stingray right there, really just showing off Jacob, first of all, with a great sense with the Stingray and timing, obviously, but also highlighting how the jetpack, the custom jet has actually seen a rise in play lately because of how easy and how fast you can actually charge that Stingray, that ever so important Stingray, with this main weapon compared to chargers or heavy smiling. So definitely something that we have to keep in mind here, as we do see a lot of fighting going on that is not going in the favor of Azure. Momentum getting 3 down the side of Azure. Wow.
Wow, indeed. This is not really what Azure wants, needs to be in the position for right now. Momentum has taken a commanding lead, bringing their point all the way into the teams. You know, they're primed to knock this out as everybody from Azure is respawning right now. Even with Chibi being the only one in mid, there's not enough time to take that zone back over, and that is going to be a very quick knockout for our game 2.
That was a dominating performance coming in from Momentum. At the very beginning, we did see a very beautiful wipe coming in from Azure. That was a moment of brilliance, but that take back, that first take back was just so smooth from momentum that from that single take back, I just thought, okay, if they play the rest of the game as well as they played that take back, that's gonna be a snack. And it was. So I'm really hoping that we do see Azure here realize the mistake in their counter pick and go for something like Tower Control or Rainmaker, which hopefully is gonna go more in their favor, but I think only time can tell. What do you think, Melissa?
I agree with you. I think it's just going to be a matter of time. I think Azure has a lot of work they need to do in order to take this last game. But depending on what they decide to go with here, I don't know. I think they need to switch up this mode. And it seems like, oh, that was a little bit of a joke there. It seems like they are going to do it. Going into Rainmaker might be the difference that they're looking at here. Maybe they have a stronger opportunity on Snapper Canal.
It could definitely be, but I would really want to see Azure switching off of that Carbon Roller. Carbon Roller Deco, I don't think it was a good call on their side on that specific map mode, and I don't think it's going to be a good call for this one either. It's probably going to backfire considering the maps being fairly linear and favoring mid-range weapons, really. I'm surprised I haven't seen a K-Pro yet on either side, which could definitely be a weapon that is going to be very advantageous to have on Rainmaker Snapper Canal, considering how good its time to kill, range, and combination of Booyah Bomb are for this specific map. But is there any weapon that you're really looking forward to see on Rainmaker Snapper, or not?
Ah, I don't know. I'm very excited to continue to watch this ink brush because I think that it's been really strong. I think moving throughout this map is going to be crucial for them here to be able to come around and flank for whoever the Rainmaker carrier is going to be strong. I am just so excited to be able to watch them play.
Yeah, I think English is going to be something interesting here. It could be the entire playmaker for momentum as much as it could be just completely a dead weight on the specific map. It really just comes down a lot to whether we do see Azure first of all have a comp that better suits at dealing with the ink brush, and whether obviously they're actually adapting their playstyle in response to it. Because you have to keep in mind that even if your composition might just completely shut something down, if you don't really play in order to shut something down, it's not going to work. And we see here a Grim Rage Blaster, so something we haven't really seen much of lately, but
Mm-hmm.
pretty interesting composition, I have to say. And again, Momentum switching their comp once more, going to something that is more reminiscent of the first game. So that's Splash-O-Matic. It could either do so much work as much as it could just end up being something that just gets shut down by that Grim and that L3 so quickly. Oh wait, I just noticed. Azure's playing double anchor. What do you think about that? I just noticed that now.
I was wondering that too. I was also thinking that's double booyah too, right? Like this might be very, very difficult for Momentum to be able to kind of move throughout this map very quickly because Azure is going to have such an opportunity for a lot of pressure here with that double anchor as you're talking about. This might spell disaster for Momentum. This might be the game that they were not prepared for and what they're gonna worry about the most.
Yeah, I really think that if Azure is able to get a quick lead at the start, they're definitely going to have the entire game for themselves because their composition is so well suited at defending that it's going to be really tough for any sort of push actually to come out on the side of Momentum. But on the other hand, if Momentum is able to get a strong push themselves, well, it's going to be really tough for Azure to actually get anything going because, again, their comp is very defensive with all this amount of range, all these slow, sluggish defensive weapons. So this is a matchup that could go either way, and it's really going to come down to whichever team gets a good push first.
I think so. And pushing to 77 is not so bad. I love that Pika called out this flank here. Definitely knew that there was an issue off to that side. Able to take out Chibi and pop that baller in such a position where they can still hold on to where they want to be on this map, which, as you mentioned, is very defensive positioning for them.
That was a nice switch, but it seems like they cannot get to that Rainmaker. When we finally see something trying to happen, and it's 3 down, so this is finally the opportunity that Azure was looking for. The Stingray is being popped prematurely. This is the opening. Oh, with that pick as well. Co-pilot opening up the front line with that heavy smiling, which is something you don't see every day. And that push 39, it's not a game-winning push, but it definitely is a very solid one. Forcing Electro in that baller, forcing 2 specials coming out from the side of Momentum. And this is looking like the game is going to be heading to where Azure wants it finally.
I agree with you. I think that was a crucial moment right there. Electra was planning to use that baller for something else, but had to pop it in order to stay alive from that Booyah Bomb. So it can be really tough if you're planning to use some of your specials in a different situation, not quite able to do it. So this could be the game that Azure is looking for. This could be what they've been waiting for this whole set, but they need to stay alive in order to do it. And neither team is really 4 up consistently so far.
Yeah, really, I have to agree. I haven't really noticed that myself, but you're 100% right. The teams are kind of struggling with keeping all the members alive for a uniform push. As we see right now, for example, everybody's alive, but nobody is going down because neither of the team is taking risks. We finally do see one player down, but it's 1-for-1. So they just keep going down on both sides whenever they try to take any form of initiative. Again, because of how the comps are and because of how they're playing it. And once more, this is really playing to the strength of Team Azure on this specific map because they really want this specific scenario to happen. They don't want to have to push. They don't want to have to do anything other than just hold ZR and have people die for them.
I think that was the plan. I mean, this is their counter pick, and this is why counter picks has become popular in terms of tournament setup recently. But maybe Jacob, this is what he's been going for, is able to push this Rainmaker to 71, back where they had it earlier, get a couple extra points, not quite able to do much more than that, though. If Pika does go down right here, it could spell disaster for them, but maybe not able to do it. Pops this baller to stay alive and try and get one of those picks, not quite able to get any of those either. Just gonna hold on to everything they can with almost 30 seconds left in this game. I'm not sure what we're gonna see, Hero.
In 2 players down, I think what we're going to be seeing here is finally a win for Azure. Like, really just showing off the strength of the way they were planning this this replay, this counter pick compared to the first one. Really, In the first one, we didn't really see them play to the strengths of the map and mode they actually picked themselves. But here, we saw a completely different story. I think had they picked this one right off the bat, this entire set might have just been completely different as far as results go. But stalling it out, Bread right there, having fun in that corner, and that's going to be game. So nice 2-1, very intense overall on both sides. But man, that was a nice set to watch. Props to both
That
teams.
that was great to watch. I'm very excited to see that they were able to kind of hold on to what they were going for, and so happy to see that Azure was able to kind of come back and just do what they could to use their counter pick to their benefit, as you had mentioned. They set themselves up really well. They knew what they wanted and they went after it and they took hold of it for that last game. So really great job by both
Yeah,
teams.
and co-pilot especially really showing off, nearly getting that 20 KA last game. So close with a 19, 1 kill away from getting that, from breaking that 20 barrier, which so many players love to see and love to try to break. But